Welcome children, welcome to refreshconcepts.com. With me Dinesh Modi, we start and begin our 10th standard ICSE mathematics. The very first chapter of class 10th ICSE mathematics starts with the chapter GST. To many students, in fact this is students' perception that GST is the most difficult chapter. Mind you, it is not, right? It is we who have to just understand the basic terminology, basic concept, and we are going to see in our slides also, if we understand all those basic concepts, sums are, mind you, very, very simple, right? Let's start with the very first chapter, GST, Goods and Service Tax. Goods and Service Tax. Now children, in our country, the taxation system is broadly classified into two types. So what are the two types broadly classified into two types? What are the two types of taxes? One is direct tax, another is indirect tax. Mind you, there are many taxes as such. I'm just giving you a very small classification, direct tax and indirect tax. We are not here onto the taxation system of India. No, we are not here and learning all this that. So what comes under direct tax? A person earning in a year has to pay some kind of tax under certain slabs, right? So that comes under personal income tax. And if you are earning some organization or corporate house, then you have to pay corporate tax. So you can say a person's personal income tax and corporate tax comes under direct tax. Next is, if I want to purchase an article, right, within the same state or for that matter from one state to another. So whenever we want to purchase a particular article, what we have to do is we have to pay it earlier. What we were paying is we were paying some n number of taxes. We used to pay some sales tax, value added tax, octroi tax, cess tax. So if I count, the list is close to 15, 17. So we had n number of taxes applying on that particular article, and then those, after cumulative impact of or after collection of all those taxes, it used to get added to the MRP, and we used to get finally the outcome of the sale price plus taxes is what the consumer had to pay. So what is GST? GST is nothing but we have removed all those n number of taxes which were earlier there, and we have kept only one tax under the title GST, Goods and Service Tax. One nation, one tax system, right? So GST comes under an indirect tax. GST comes under an indirect tax. It doesn't come under direct tax. It has nothing to do with the personal income tax or corporate tax, right? So let's understand what is GST. GST, very first thing, comes under indirect tax. GST is a destination-based consumption tax. Children, understand the word consumption. That means it is related to buy and sell of goods and services, right? It involves both buyer also and seller also. So it is destination-based consumption tax. It is a tax which is applied only on consuming certain article. On consumption of that article only, then GST is getting applied to. It is applicable to all kinds of movement of goods and services. As I stated earlier, whether it be intrastate or maybe interstate. Let's classify GST. Now we are entering into the chapter, right? GST. Again, it is broadly classified into central GST, which we normally say CGST, state GST, SGST, or since in our country we have state also, union territories also, union territory GST, UGST, and integrated GST, IGST. So what are the three types of GST? CGST, central GST, state GST, SGST, or for that matter UGST if it were to be a union territory, and IGST, integrated GST. Let's understand what are these three actually are. Who can collect tax and who is the beneficiary, right? When can I say CGST is applicable on a particular goods or article? CGST gets applied only and only when the movement of goods and services takes place intra-state transaction. Intra means within the state. Intra means within the state. intrastate transaction or movement of goods and services. What gets applied to all those articles or goods and services where the movement of goods and services takes place within the state, we have to calculate CGST, right? What is SGST? Again, intrastate, union territory transaction, again movement of goods and services. So you might say, sir, there is no difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. Here I have just highlighted that where the goods and services are, they are within the same state. But when I'll be going further, you'll be getting to know what is the difference between CGST and SGST. The main difference lies between the beneficiary. So the movements of goods and services takes place within the state, here also within the state or union territory. So as of now, I'm talking about the point of similarity between SGST and CGST. Picture is yet to come. Integrated GST. Interstate transaction. That means if the movement of good takes place from one state to another, couple of states involved, more than couple, then we go for IGST, integrated GST. If it were to be within the same state, CGST, SGST. If the movement of goods and services takes place from one state to another, union territory to another, one state to another, one state to union territory, vice versa, IGST. Interstate transaction or movement of goods and services. Right? Now, who can collect and who is the beneficiary? Who is the beneficiary when it comes to CGST? As the name suggests, central GST, central government. All the CGST goes to the central government, the government of India, central government of India. So, CGST, the beneficiary is central government. SGST, the beneficiary is state government. For that matter, UGST, the beneficiary is union territory government. Right? The taxes goes to these government. CGST, central government. SGST, UGST goes to state government and union territory government respectively. IGST, here I have written inter, supply from one state to another. IGST, very specifically, initially given to the central government. So whatever is the tax being collected is given to the central government. Later the central government distributes. It is the central government distributing the IGST between the respective state government as per the law. We are not here to discuss what is the law and how much each of the states will share their revenue. No, we are not here to discuss that. But who gets initially the revenue of IGST? It is the central government who will be getting the revenue. It is as per law thereafter, central government is going to share and distribute, I should say, between the respective states, through which states the transaction or movement of goods have taken place. Further, one more thing. How is the bifurcation of tax system taking place? So say, for example, if there is 18% GST, I'm not using the word CGST or SGST, I'm saying the tax on an article, GST tax on an article is 18%, say for example, and the movement of goods and services has taken place within a state, same state. So shall I say the taxation system as per the question will say 18% tax GST. Since it's an intrastate, GST at 18%, the bifurcation will take place. 9% will go to CGST and 9% will go to SGST. So let's give you a very simple illustration. If the sale price of an article is rupees 100, GST applied on the sale price is 18%. So what is the GST? GST is rupees 18, 18% of 100. 9 rupees will go to CGST, that is central government. 9 rupees will go to SGST, that is state government. This is how the distribution of GST will be done when the movement of goods and services is within the state, intrastate. So for intrastate, the GST has bifurcation in terms of CGST and SGST. Both are equally, mind you. If 20% is the GST rate, 10% should go with central GST and 10% will go with state GST. If 12% is the rate, 6 and 6 will each share. Are you getting me, children? Next is, how about interstate GST, IGST? Interstate GST, if on the same lines, if the rate of GST is 18%, then there is no bifurcations as such. Seller collects 18%, buyer pays 18%. So again, if I have to give an example, 100 rupees is the sale price, 18% is the GST, IGST, since the movement of goods and services have taken place from one place to another, one state to another state, I should say. So 100 plus 18% of 100, which is 18 rupees. So all that 18 rupees initially, as per our definition, as I stated, will go to the central government, and as per the law, it is the central government will distribute this 18 rupees within the state as per the law. Right? There is no bifurcation in IGST, but yes, there is very much bifurcation in intrastate, SGST and CGST, and both are equal. Right, children? I just want, this is the very first introductory slide of GST. We need to know what is GST. We should know what GST come under as, what type of tax it is, why we are collecting tax, and how that tax is getting distributed to what kind of government. This is the very basic slide to understand what GST is all about and what are the different types of GST. In our further slides, what we are going to see is GST in trading chain. That will make picture more clear. That will make picture very, very clear. But this is a very basic slide. Please go through once again completely.